Long ago, before tribes and nations existed, humanity lived as one people, speaking a single language so clear and precise that misunderstandings were impossible. In that age of unity lived an elder named Mzee Baraka, respected for his calm judgment and steady mind. His voice kept harmony alive. But harmony attracts jealousy, and far beyond the warmth of their fires lingered Murogi wa Giza, the Sorcerer of Darkness, a spirit who fed on confusion and mistrust. As long as humans understood one another perfectly, he remained powerless. So he waited, watching for a moment when unity would crack. That moment arrived when the rains failed, the rivers thinned to threads, the soil split open, the grazing lands turned to dust, and the animals vanished. Hunger pressed on every stomach, but desperation pressed harder on the mind. In this weakness, Murogi crept between the sleeping people, whispering into their ears. He did not yell or roar. He made tiny, calculated changes to their speech. He whispered the word salama, which meant safe, but twisted the vowel so the listener heard tama, which meant trick. He changed the word for share so it sounded like take. Simple distortions poisoned everyday conversations. People were confused and suspicious, asking why they were being accused or insulted when they never had been. Murogi continued his work night after night, sowing subtle seeds of mistrust. Mzee Baraka saw tension rising like smoke over the camp. Trying to restore trust, he ordered all remaining food to be stored in a communal granary with shared guarding and shared counting. He believed transparency would pull the people back together. But Murogi slipped into the granary at night and whispered doubt into the guards' ears. One guard walked certain the count was wrong. Another swore sacks had been removed. By warning, no one agreed on how much food remained. The communal system Baraka created to unite them now became proof that even he could not stop the growing confusion. His shoulders sagged under the weight of helplessness. As hunger grew sharper, groups began to split. Some went into the forests, others climbed toward the mountains, some followed the coastline, others chased migrating animals. Mzee Baraka begged them to stay together, reminding them that famine tested their bodies, not their souls. But fear was louder than wisdom. The people scattered across the land, and Murogi wa Giza followed each group, unseen and patient. As the groups traveled into new environments, Murogi continued twisting their words bit by bit. In the forests, people developed a hushed, leafy tone, soft and rustling, making even warmth sound secretive. In the mountains, the people's speech grew sharp and clipped to bounce off stone, so even simple phrases sounded firm and confrontational. On the coast, rolling hisses and stretched vowels shaped their language like waves, making sincerity sound skeptical. The plains wanderers developed deep, breathy tones inspired by the animals they tracked. What started as tiny distortions became solid habits, then patterns, then entirely new languages. Years later, when rare rains revived the plains, two groups met again by chance: mountain people and forest people. They approached one another with excitement, ready to celebrate survival and share what they had learned. One group had found a safe valley. The other had discovered a route that eased hunger. But when they opened their mouths to speak, their words clashed like stones. Each group heard insults, threats, or mockery where none existed. What they meant as joy sounded like aggression. What they meant as hope sounded like deception. They walked away hurt and confused, each believing the other had changed into something unrecognizable. Murogi watched from a ridge, pleased with how deeply the divide had cut. Mzee Baraka, older now and weary, witnessed this heartbreaking reunion. In that moment, he understood the full truth. The famine had starved their bodies, but fear had starved their unity. And in that darkness, Murogi wa Giza had twisted their tongues beyond repair. The elder spent the rest of his life traveling between the scattered groups, slowing speech, matching words, building the earliest forms of translation. He became a bridge between broken peoples, but the languages never merged again. That damage was permanent. And so the world came to speak in many tongues, not because people were meant to be different, but because fear made them easy to divide. Elders still say that where confusion rises, Murogi wa Giza is near. Where patience lives, he starves. And when people choose to understand one another, even across different languages, unity finds its way back.